Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for the first of our live anxiety call-in sessions. This first session is called Your Life After Anxiety, and it will basically be about how, in order to fully heal and move on from your life with anxiety, you need to be able to know what your life after anxiety will be like. I'll have a full presentation that I'll give to you people today, along with a PowerPoint presentation, as long as our technology works today. We've had another few technology issues that have gotten in the way a little bit of getting this webinar set up. So hopefully we don't run into any of those today. Hopefully it's all smooth sailing from here on in. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. First of all, this webinar is recorded, so it will be available after we finish this webinar session today, and you'll be able to access it anytime. I'll be emailing you a link to it. That also means that any questions that you ask me on the call will be recorded, so it's important that you know that and that you understand that. Secondly, from my end, there is a little bit of a delay in interacting with you guys and in seeing what you're writing and what you're sending to me. So for that reason, I actually can't have a live talking. I can't unmute your microphone so that you can talk to me. The best way to make the Q&A session work best at the end of my presentation is that you type in your questions. So what I'm going to be asking is that during the presentation that I'm giving to you, if you have any questions, that you actually type them into the chat box. And I will be leaving the answering of the questions until the very end of the presentation, but I will definitely get to them. That's simply because there's about a 40-minute delay, 40-second delay in me being able to see what you're writing or me being able to hear what you're saying. It will just flow a lot better if I can get all your questions all together and then answer them all in one big go. So yeah, as I said, welcome to this first webinar call-in session. I'm very excited to be here. I think last time I touched base in a webinar format, I was still pregnant with a very big belly, and I was going to show the baby off, but he looks like he's just gone to sleep, so I won't interrupt him. Instead, I'll just launch straight into the webinar presentation. If I can get this live and happening, and we will just get started. So I think switch off my camera. I'll switch off my camera so it might work a bit quicker if I do it this way. So okay, now hopefully you can see the slide in your screen. I think you can. So as I said, the topic of today's webinar is Your Life After Anxiety, and I'm very happy and excited to be here with you today to present this. I really do think that this is a very important first step in really starting your life after anxiety. And if you don't know what it's going to look like, how are you going to know what you're working towards? You really need to have a goal, and you really have to know what your life after anxiety will be like in order for it all to work for you. So I will just jump straight in and get this slide happening. So what comes to mind when I say life after anxiety? And I'm sure on the surface of it, people tend to think, oh, life after anxiety, it's going to be fantastic. Of course I don't want a life with anxiety. I I don't want to feel anxious and fearful and sick all the time and tired and all those other things. I want to be happy and relieved and have no worries. And I put this question to my Facebook page peeps and ask them, when I say life after anxiety, what is it that comes to mind? And I really thought people would say, I feel free and I feel relaxed and I feel present. It will make me a better mother, it will make me guilt-free, a better worker, more concentration and that kind of thing. That's really the sort of answers that I thought that I would get out of people. But instead, what I got was, I'll never not have anxiety, was one of the answers. And then another one of the answers was, I have life, but with anxiety. I've tried everything, so I've learned to live my life with it, which is so sad. My heart almost broke when I read this, because I just sort of thought, it's almost like people are stuck in a tunnel, and anxiety is this cloud that is overhanging, and they can't really see a way out. They can't see a way forward. So if you don't know what to do, or you don't know what you're working towards, why would you bother? Why would you even try? It just seems that it's so far outside of your comfort zone sometimes that trying to forge your life ahead into the unknown just seems way too scary and like one extra thing that people have to deal with. So the truth is that most women fear a life without anxiety. Sorry, just taking a sip of my tea. This is because they can't see what a life after anxiety would look like. So like I said, the unknown is what's fearful, and you've got two brains basically. You've got your sophisticated brain that works in the 21st century, that is emotionally intelligent and logical, and then you have this reptile brain, this animal brain, this very, very prehistoric part of your brain, which actually, unfortunately, is the part of your brain that governs fear. And anything that the brain perceives as being foreign or new or something they can't recognize is automatically processed as being a threat, and therefore your mind won't accept it, because it's seen as a threat, and your brain is designed to keep you alive. So really your brain's working too well when you can't see what a life without anxiety would look like. However, the purpose of today's presentation is to show you how you can design your life after anxiety. You don't need to have beaten anxiety in order for this to work for you. And just to be able to see what your life will look like. And if you do that, if you design ahead, if you plan ahead, and if you can see it already, then the brain doesn't register it as a threat anymore. It becomes a lot more friendly for you. And it's one of those things that what your brain recognizes and what your brain is okay with will manifest in your life a lot more quickly. So, as I said, for many women, life after anxiety is way outside of your comfort zone. Now, many people use this term comfort zone. I actually call it the trap. The reason why I call it the trap is because it keeps you trapped. Other people call it the rut. You're stuck in the rut, or you're stuck in the groove. It's really that place. It's your brain working well. It's your brain working exactly as it should, but it's just gone into overdrive a little bit. And sometimes when the fear impulses that go through your body that are triggered by this part of your brain, sometimes they shoot through your body so quickly that it's really, really difficult to listen to any other part of your brain or any other logic that might be coming through to try and override that. And I often see this with people that experience phobias. Their brain registers that threat, say fear of mice. They see a mouse, their brain registers the fear of the mouse, and that fear just shoots through the body so strongly. It's insane. That any sort of logic of, look at that dear, sweet, cuddly little mouse, there's no way in the world that it can hurt me. That little voice just isn't heard. So going back to this particular topic and why people are stuck in the trap with this, is that your subconscious mind registers the very concept of life after anxiety as a threat because it's not recognized by you. So steps to overcome this. First of all, you need to absolutely accept that you totally have the power to overcome anxiety. You absolutely do. And the reason for this is that you're a creator. You, in yourself, on an energetic level, are creating all the time. Every single day of the week, you are creating. Whether you're creating positive experiences for yourself or whether you're creating negative experiences for yourself really determines or really depends on the amount that you actually accept this fact that you are a creator. So people that don't believe in the law of attraction or don't believe in energies and that kind of thing, they generally do tend to be skeptical type of people in general. They're not really open to possibilities. They may have tried abundance thinking, or they may have tried to use the law of attraction in their lives. However, it hasn't particularly worked for them because they haven't given it enough of a chance, number one. They have too many doubts about it, and they quit. They quit too early. They quit too quickly. They don't give it enough time to work. So the key really is to accept that you are a creator and that anxiety is your reaction to the thoughts that you have put out to the universe. What happens is you think something, you think a thought, it leaves your mind and it actually travels along the energy fields and it goes out to the universe. It actually attracts other like thoughts to it. And what happens with a pocket of energy, when a pocket of energy meets another pocket of energy that is the same as it, they actually fuse together to become a larger pocket of energy. And because you have an attractive force, and what you send out, everything comes back to you like a boomerang. It comes back to you magnified, and it comes back to you bigger and badder and worse than what it was when you sent it out. So that's just a bit of an example of the whirlpool that you sometimes get sucked into when you're stuck in anxiety and stuck in anxious thinking. So you don't want to do that. You want to accept that you're a creator, and in order to do that, you need to be focusing on what you do want, what you do want to create. That automatically switches your energy and your energy field into a more positive and a higher vibrational level. So you need to accept that you need to create a new type of normal for yourself. Think about, you see weight loss ads and you see a picture of a woman before and she might be looking a little bit frumpy and she has no spray tan and the lights aren't great and she doesn't have a very happy look on her face. And then you see the after picture and she's trimmed and she's toned and she's spray tanned and she's probably wearing lovely new gym clothes and she's got a face of makeup and the lighting is fantastic and she's got a happy look on her face. That is the best way that I can describe you before anxiety and you after anxiety. It really is a visual pattern that you want to send to yourself. It really is a visual signal that you want to say to yourself, this is what my life after anxiety will look like. And in doing that and becoming used to this idea, becoming okay with this idea, and it becoming, you know, a new part of who you are, it becomes far less of a threat and is much more likely to manifest quickly into your life. Next point, you need to change your patterns and behaviours that have been habits for a long, long time. So as well as seeing the change, you need to act on the change. And the best way to do this before it's actually manifested is to, I call it acting as if. You can still have anxiety, and you might still have anxiety for some time before you start following this formula that I'm about to show you later in the presentation. You can still have anxiety, and you probably will. For I don't know how long. It'll be as long as it takes for you to accept this process on an energetic level that you'll start to see results. But you need to change your patterns and behaviours that have been habits for a long, long time. So if your pattern is to finish dinner, sit down in front of the television and commence worrying every single evening, you're going to have to change that. And the best way to do that is to not try not to do it, but just to recognize that you are doing it. That is the very first step. So in order for new habits to stick, a change must happen at an energetic level. That's what I was saying with the amount of time that it will take for this formula that I'm about to teach you for it to work. Is directly proportional to the amount of time that it takes for you to accept that this new way of thinking and this formula will work for you. The sooner you believe it, the sooner you'll see it. So we'll just go back to basics a little bit. What is energy? So energy is the stuff that makes up our universe, and it's scientifically proven. It's if you think about matter, everything is made up of matter, and the way that the matter intermingles and vibrates with each other determines whether it's a solid, a liquid, or a gas, and the rate at which it vibrates determines what it is. So if you look at a human body under a microscope, we are made up of nothing more than tiny vibrating particles that produce heat and light. And this heat and light is the energy. So the vibration is the energy as well, and the heat and light that is produced is the energy. So energy, it's actually scientifically proven. It is the stuff that makes up us and everything that we see and everything that we are and everything that we feel, everything that we think, and our entire universe. It's there. It's living. It's breathing. It's there whether we like it or not. It just is the universe that we operate in. So the particles of your hand are all vibrating at the same level to make up a hand at that level. The particles of your mobile phone are vibrating at that level to make up your mobile phone. The particles of my cup of tea that I have here, keeping me warm in this winter Canberra day, are vibrating at this level to make my cup of tea. And there are so many different levels that the energy is vibrating at. So if you think about it in terms of a microscope, there's so many levels of power. So if you look at a hand under a microscope that's quite low powered, you might see your skin, but then once you start amping the power up, you start to see the cells and the different particles and the matter, and you start getting right into that in a very, very deep level. So that's the level I'm talking about. When I'm talking about energy healing, I'm talking about an absolute micro level that you can't see with your bare eyes. I actually personally, I can see auras. I've been seeing auras for many, many years. That's part of what makes me such a good and such an effective energy healer, is the fact that over the years I actually have been given a gift of being able to see energy that's at a level that most people can't see. However, it is totally something that you can learn, and I have trained many people over the years to see the energy at this level. Coming back to my point, the way that energy works is that what happens at the macro level is the same as what happens at the micro level. So if you think about your diet and what you eat, and you think about, okay, it's a cold winter day here in Canberra. For lunch, I might have a yummy organic vegetarian soup that's absolutely packed with vegetables. That's really, really yummy and super hot. And I will put some Himalayan salt in there as well, full of minerals, really, really good for me. And I'll eat that for my lunch. Versus, oh, it's a really, really cold day here in Canberra, I'm going to go and get fish and chips from the local takeaway shop. And, it's going to be greasy, and it's going to be hot, and it's going to be full of that iodized table salt that, really contains not very many, it contains minerals, but they're not the right sorts of minerals for you. What that does, it affects your body, and it actually filters right down the levels of your energy field, right down to the level that you can't see anymore. When I look at someone's aura, I can actually tell if their diet hasn't been that crash hot, because the energy field surrounding their digestion and the way that their mind's working, their overall energy has been affected by that. So what happens at the macro level is the same as what happens at the micro level. So whatever happens to the mind and the body and the emotions is exactly the same as what happens energetically to you. And I want you to know that it's a filtered down type of system. It's not like you've got two bodies and one mirrors the other. It's all interconnected. It's all you. It's all your every system is on this same core. So your physical body and your energetic body are all one and the same, and it's a filtered down type of thing. So you drink a can of Coca-Cola and you get that temporary buzz followed by the epic sugar crash, because there's at least 65 grams of carbohydrate in that stuff. It's a full, it gets to every single system that you have, and it gets down to that minute energy field. So the best way to work with your energy field at this level. Now, you guys are all newbies to this energy healing game, so I really want to start this at a very simple and the path of least resistance. Let's face it, it needs to be quick, and it needs to be easy for you guys, and it needs to be effective as well. The quickest, easiest, most effective way is to work with your physical body, and that flow-on effect into your energy field absolutely will happen. So, first step one. And I'd like you to actually do this along with me. I want you to just stop for a minute And if you're watching this on the video, you can stop, you can pause the video while you take some time out to do this step. So number one, I want you to visualize the outcome of what you want. And I want you to visualize it with full color and movement. So best way that I tend to do this type of thing is to imagine a scene at some stage in your future. Imagine, I tend to imagine my family sitting around the table. We're enjoying a lovely meal, might be enjoying a nice glass of wine, and just thinking about how I feel in that situation. In that situation, my mind isn't racing at a million miles an hour. I'm able to fully sit with my family and enjoy this delicious, tasty meal, which has been lovingly cooked by myself and by people that have helped me, and that imagine how it feels in your mouth and the tastes and the smell, and how you can be full and present, and you're there, and your mind isn't racing ahead to the next thing that might happen. You're able to just sit down, enjoy each bite, enjoy each sip of your drink, and interact in the conversation and fully be there and be present. And imagine your own outcome. Imagine what that looks like. What it looks like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, what it feels like. Feel is a really important sense to engage. So can you feel the warmth of the heating on your skin, or can you feel, a nice cool breeze on your skin? Can you feel lovely clothes against your skin? What is it that you're feeling, and what is it that you're feeling in your heart as well? What are the emotions that your body is just flooded with at the time? What are the other senses? Taste, touch, sound, sight, and smell. Engage all of those. And I want you to also, when you're visualizing and when you're seeing this visualization in front of you, you are in it, and the movement is happening around you in a full 360. So if you're within your visualization and you turn around, you can do a full 360 in your mind, and you can see everything that's going on right around you, and it's colorful and there's movement with it. And sound as well. You can hear what's being said. You're engaged. You're there. You're absolutely there, 100%. So this is step one, and it might seem really simple, and it might even be something that you've done before with regards to manifesting. Maybe not with regards to energy healing for anxiety, but it might be something within your life. The importance is to really get extremely detailed with it, and if you have to work on it over a period of time, if the first time you do this exercise it's a little bit fuzzy, that's okay. The whole point of this is that it will crystallize, and your subconscious will start feeding to you what this outcome needs to look like, bit by bit by bit. And then gradually, as your visualization becomes more crystal clear, it will start to manifest in your life. You'll start to see clues around you. So we'll move on to step two. Step two is extremely important, and it's a step that so many people who teach law of attraction and energy healing and that kind of thing actually don't. They skip over this because I think they think it's an automatic part, but I myself have struggled with this in the past. You need to release this intention to the universe. You really need to surrender the outcome. So it might sound like it's a little bit in opposition to step one, which is to really visualize and amp yourself up for this particular outcome. Step two is to say, yes, I want that outcome. You might put it into a bubble of light, wrap your visualization in a beautiful bubble of the purest white energy, and then release it to the universe. Send it out. Make it make it float along the realms of time and send it out to the universe, and completely surrender the outcome. You don't know when that visualization is going to come back to you in reality, but you're releasing it anyway with a full sense of trust. Now, understand that it might take some time for this to actually happen for you. And the reason for that is, if the fuzzier your initial visualization is, the longer I generally find with my clients it takes for their visualization to become reality. It always does become reality though, because once you set those wheels in motion, the universe just takes it on as its own, and it's how our world works. It's the channels on which we operate, whether we like it or not. We're always, working according to these rules. So understand that it might take some time, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for you. It absolutely will happen. You just have to keep on doing step one again and again and again, and making it clearer and clearer and clearer each time, detaching from it, releasing it to the universe, and surrendering, when the outcome will happen. So step three is where you get to take some action, which is fantastic. You look for opportunities to take action in line with what it is that you have visualized. So the action may be different to what you had already anticipated. The universe always picks the fastest way to deliver your manifestation to you. But like I said, if your visualization is fuzzy, it's going to definitely take some time. And the actions that you might take, say for example you're stuck in a traffic jam and you're sitting there and you just wish this car in front of you would move out of the way. You're sitting there and you're visualizing this car moving out of the way for you. You've got it in full color, you've got it in full movement. This car is absolutely, there's going to be a space that's going to be created next to the car, and it's going to move over to the right and move out of the way for you. And that doesn't happen. Instead, what actually happens is that a space opens up next to you, and then you have the opportunity to move into that space. That's what I mean by the action may be a little bit different to what you'd anticipated. So you visualize, sort of the outcome of what you want. You might visualize your action steps, but accept that, the action might be a little bit different. It will bring you the fastest, quickest way to the outcome that you want. So just moving on to the next slide. Questions. I'm going to open up the floor and see if anyone has any questions for me. I'll just look in and check what people are saying to me. Okay, Trish is saying, you say that it might take some time for this to happen. Generally, how long does it take for this to happen? Yeah, that's a big question that I get all the time. And the fact is that we humans are impatient generally. And I tend to find that the longer the longer that we've been on this planet, and the faster and quicker that life becomes with technology and that kind of thing, the more impatient that we become. You probably asked this question, Trish, before I got how that it will take. So yeah, it really takes as long as it will take. It takes as long as it will take for you to visualize in full light and color what your life after anxiety will look like, and to make that crystal clear, and to become friends with the idea. And it will take as long as it takes for you to release that and really surrender the outcome and accept that it will happen for you, that the visualization will happen for you. Um, and it takes as long as it takes, really, and it takes as long as it takes for you to get clear about what you want and accept that it will absolutely happen, no matter what. Now, Trish, I just wanted to tune into your energy field because I'm sensing a real blockage for you. I'm sensing a real blockage in terms of anger. I feel like you're carrying some anger with you. This isn't your fault. This is just the way it is. A lot of people have different reasons for having anxiety, and I do really sense that you have quite an anger block that's causing you to become a little bit unagreeable with the people around you. And you're feeling like someone is being a real pain in the ass at the moment. You're feeling there's a person, and I don't know who this person is, but someone is really getting on your goat at the moment and bearing the brunt of what it is that you're angry about. I want you to bear in mind that you're actually not angry at this person. This person is just mirroring the things at you that's making you angry. You're becoming very triggered by this person, which is causing you to become very angry and causing you to, respond in an angry way. And I just want to bring that to your attention, that this person is doing you a huge service in your life by mirroring those parts of yourself that are causing you to become triggered and to become angry. So the advice that I have for you is to visualize yourself being calm whenever this person is triggering yourself off. Stay within yourself. Just imagine, I suppose, in your solar plexus chakra. That's the energy center behind your belly button. Imagine that beautiful, calm place that you have within yourself that you can go to anytime, and imagine that really opening up, and this person's trying to trigger you, pushing all your angry buttons, and you're able to stay calm no matter what. You might not be able to do that in reality for for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, but it will definitely happen as you rehearse it within yourself. And the other thing that I want you to do, your action step, I want you to think about ways that you can actually work on your true friendships or true relationships that really serve you. Start putting your energy into those areas, and you may have been neglecting some of these areas actually, due to this other person triggering you off so much, and your anger has taken up so much of your energy. I want you to focus on being calm with that and really calming that energy right down, and looking at the other friendships and the other relationships that you have that may have been neglected, and putting some more energy into those ones. So I hope that helps you, Trish, and I hope that you can find a way forward and really taking the first steps towards being able to let go of that anger, and as a result, letting go of that anxiety as well. So I'll just move on to, have we got any questions there? Yeah. Tina's just given me some positive feedback saying thank you so much. Thank you, Tina, for your lovely feedback. And I might just take this opportunity to tune into your energy field as well. You know, you've given me some fantastic gratitude, so I want to give back to you. And I'm feeling, Tina, that I'm getting teaching around you. I'm feeling like either you're a teacher or you're undertaking some kind of study that you have teaching around. I'm getting that you're feeling maybe that you're unable to really express what you're trying to say. So whether you're a teacher and you're having trouble getting across to your students, or whether you're a student and you're having trouble maybe with essays or assignments or that kind of thing, having some trouble with expressing yourself correctly, and that is causing you some anxiety at the moment. I'm really getting a feeling like you're forcing that it feels like to express yourself is feeling really forced for you. And understand that when you start forcing stuff, that is like pressing against a brick wall. That's about, you know, how effective you're going to be if you're forcing things. If the universe is just absolutely saying no and giving you a brick wall and you're going to push against it, you know what that's going to do? That's just going to make you tired. And I really feel like you are extremely tired at the moment, Tina. I'm feeling that for you. I'm actually feeling it down to my bones, actually, how extremely tired you are. A holiday or a vacation might be in order for you at the moment, actually. I do feel like this sort of situation that you're in, feeling that your expression is being blocked, really goes back to a pattern that started in you when you were young, when you were a young girl, maybe around 6 years of age. And yeah, 6 years of age, which is around the kindergarten or first grade time of your life. So if your first experiences as a student were of you being your expression being really quashed down, and you know, you haven't been able to express yourself, it's little wonder that you're actually experiencing that now when you're in this environment of teaching. Whether you're the teacher or you're the student, that blockage of that expression is there. I don't feel like this is a long-term issue for you. I feel like just hearing this now and getting this awareness around you, that blockage to your expression will actually be lifted, and that you'll be able to move forward. I want you to feel really hopeful that this is, you know, now that you know this, now that you understand this, that you don't have to force anything. Just sit back, maybe go back to that step 2 that I was talking about, and really, you know, make your what do you call it? Your visualization of what you want it to currently be, make that the reality for you. And feel protected. Feel like this is really going to happen for you, and that you know, feel hopeful that not all is not lost for you. Once you stop forcing, it really will become a lot easier for you, and that anxiety will you know, will go away. So yeah, it's definitely not a long-term problem at all. Do I have any more questions? We're actually starting to run out of time, so I might leave it there. If that's okay with everyone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop stop sharing my screen with you, and go back to turn my camera back on, see if I can stop. Hopefully you can see me on your screen and not anyone else. My husband's just came and given me the thumbs up that that's the case. You can actually see me. Thank you so much to the people that have joined me live on the call today, and thank you also for the people that have taken the time to listen to the recording. I really hope that it's helped you. what I'd like you to do, if you have any more questions or if you want to join me for the next webinar that I'll be holding, it will be in about a month's time. I haven't determined a topic yet, but once I do, I will definitely be emailing everyone on my list and within my Facebook group. So the best way to get in touch with me is to go to www.anxiousrelief.com and either contact me there, or you'll get the details of the next upcoming webinar on that website, or look me up on Facebook, Eva Lane's Anxious Relief. So again, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you get something out of today's presentation, and I'd love to get your feedback. Bye for now.